also your charge that also protect half your team via the snowball. So I'm not sure why this is big. Also, Spirit Breaker is not the best against Dazzle because the way that you kill anybody, you take forever to get a kill. Like you need to get like 6 or 7 hits, and Dazzle has a lot of time to grave and whatnot. So I'm not sure about it.
I feel like Vega may just want to pick something like a Slaughter here. It's more minus armor with the Dazzle. You're on the dire side. You've got Roshan. It's pretty good against Empire in general. You want to blow up an SF fast, it's put a ton of minus armor on him, but for now, Lina picked up, and most teams you see Lina, you think, oh, there's your mid-hero, but with Vega, not convinced.
Yeah, toss up between Solo and no one. I actually don't think they're going to lean any specific way right now. Is it another hero that has some sort of answer to the Spirit Breaker? It is a little bit more clunky, but once you get the Yule Scepter, it's like Spirit Breaker just feels like a joke as a Lina, if it is going to be more of a farming Lina getting a faster Yule Scepter.
I think it's more likely going to be a solo Lina. Generally, when they pick Lina, they pair it with an off lane that doesn't farm that much, like a hero like a Tusk.
Yeah.
So you expect your fourth support to really come up and get the damage in fights, which also Tusk doesn't do a lot of. So far, it looks more like a support Lina, but obviously, the beauty of this pick is that you could adjust halfway through.
There we go. Hey, you talked about the hero.
There you go.
I'm glad it was Empire picked it, not Vega, otherwise I'd look like an idiot.
Dude, me too. I jumped on that train and it would have been wrong.
And Vega go for one of the few teams who still really like to run Phantom Lancer. They're going to run it for Pasha. And as far as this being a PL game, not bad. You can dodge charge with it. It's
what
annoying.
Is there?
Yeah, like Bane Fiend script is not really reliable. Like once PL has a few illusions, you don't know which is the real one. You've got no AoE wave clear outside of like a charge here, which isn't really actual AoE damage.
Shadow Raises.
Okay, yeah, Shadow Raises Requiem, but you can also doppelganger that. Like, it's a really nice PL game.
Shadow Fiend sometimes feels really clunky against Phantom Lancer. Like you could thin out the illusions sometimes, but then doppelgangs again, gets a lucky proc on some illusions, and then you're suddenly swarmed, and there's not much you can do as SF, since you may have a mech or something like that, but you may not even have enough mana to cast that. So I do think it is a really good Phantom Lancer game, and the Ancient Apparition, I'm not really 100% on the AA right now. I do think the hero is more so here that you need a reason to pick, but seems kind of mediocre.
Last pick's coming up now.
It's a direct call out to Ovos. It's like, hey, you can't play Ember, which Ember is still in the pool. It's normally a stick counter to PL.
Well, it's just not. It's not even like just a Havol. It's like not an Empire hero at all. Like Resolution, even not known for his Ember. So
Sven's banned out, so that's like the other anti.
I mean, it's such a good Ember game. There's no catch for an Ember this game. It almost feels criminal not to be picking the hero here. The Empire just be like, Havos, come on, it's a hero here. Like, what do you reckon? Come on.
It's not that hard.
I can play.
I feel like knowing Havos, he just put a smile on his face like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's Ember Spirit. Like,
I don't know, there are other heroes that you can abuse when the enemies don't really have that many ways to open a fight.
Yeah.
Like, when we can name those jank heroes like Storm Spirit, Weaver, like Morphling. Like, there are a ton of heroes that can do that, but what heroes are Empire actually comfortable running? I think that's the big question.
I mean, even when Ember first got added, like Havos was one of the few players playing it.
Juggernaut.
As far as Jug goes, it definitely could work.
Decent. Again, you kind of get crushed by Snowball in some situations.
It gives you a strong 5-man with the Healing Ward, because you can, like, if you're sieging towers in general, or like if you get an advantage and trying to break the base, having Healing Ward really is very useful. Like, this seems to me like a pretty good game for Healing Ward. PL can send illusions after it, but it's not really that reliable to be able to bring it down, so could definitely see it working.
Yeah, it is kind of risky, like Omni Slash up against the Grave, Snowball, and of course the Mass Illusions, even if you do have Battle Fury. Oh, there we go.
That's the other cleaver.
There's some cleave,
remember.
Battle Fury, Tiny. Yep. Here we go, of course.
All right, so this matchup between PL and Tiny, it's all about net worth. Tiny needs to be ahead of net worth, or else there's no way you outcarry a PL, and vice versa. So, to me, I think both of these teams should focus on their safe lane farm.
Well, so last pick now coming out for Vega. I mean, again, it could be a mid, it could be a support. We don't really know with the Lina whether solo or no one's playing it. Empire last banned a Viper, worried about the support Lina. But as far as actual mids trying against SF, you're fairly limited here for options. So that's where I feel Vega may be more pressured into running Lina as their mid, and then putting the Tusk onto a support role. But then, again, like, what offlane is actually left for Mag? So either way, you're somewhat, like, hero pool limited here.
Clockwork?
This is not a good Clockwork game.
I mean, it's definitely very good against the support side, even against the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah. I mean, you'll just see, they haven't really got good 4-stuff heroes, but if they pick Clockwork, you're just telling AA, screw Ag, except you're going 4-stuff this game. Like, that's just a natural kind of like response to that, I guess. Even the Bane could theoretically go for it.
What about leaving Tusk as an off lane and pick up a very high damage support?
Yeah, I think a last pick onto a support could work well.
So something like a Visage, you know, Brave Chill against the Tiny, you get a ton of, you remove his attack speed.
Familiars are good, Tiny's not likely to go BKB.
At your service.
But Wind Ranger, one of the few mids we didn't talk about.
I'm not exactly sure.
I was totally going to say Wind Ranger TA, guys.
All right.
And then you join us solo Lina.
Well, we can't really talk too much about the draft anymore because we'll have to send it to casters. I'm sorry I didn't introduce them in the last one. It's going to be Winter and Rage. Let's go, guys.
All right, we're off, Hefla. There's like 4 people coming to this
We're taking game 1 off the back of some excellent play from Resolutions Invoker, and in game 2, Vega going to switch up their strat completely. They're going to go back for one of their niche picks in that support Lina for solo.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to go for a mid hero that has much more physical damage, much more carry potential, and that's like the benefit of having their first 4 heroes. They can switch around with their strategy so much. The Lina can be mid, can be support, Tusk can be support, and they pick another offlaner, or they can do Tusk core like what they're doing now with the Lina. So we'll see whether their strat pays off for them, having the Wind Ranger in the mid position. I mean, it's again one of the common heroes that we see against SB when the opponent drafts an SB. You want a mid hero that has an ability to save yourself, to get away from the charge.
Yeah, and Windrunner certainly the hero to do so. So Vega's side, no one is going to be playing that Windrunner in the mid lane.
Whoa. Over
in the off lane,
they got the Devot. Sorry.
Yeah, already. Over in the off lane, Mag is going to pick up that Tusk, and Solo going to be on his support Lina. Seema, the captain, is up on the Dazzle, and Pasha going to be playing the PL, and it's a pretty good situation for a PL in this one.
Yeah, for Empire side, on the Radiant, we have Funnick on the off lane, Spirit Breaker, we have Tiny handled by Hovers, Resolution will be on the mid lane, Shadow Fiend, No Fear on the Ancient Apparition, and finally we have Freaky or Aloha Dance on the Bane, which has, you know, the null again, like everyone has been doing this a lot. I think except for maybe MVP's Bane, when they go for the Bane, they actually start him off with Boots of Speed.
Yeah. It seems like Null is the way to go, especially if you're going to be present up in that mid lane. So early on, as has been characteristic of this meta, we are going to see these quasi-dual lanes in the mid lane here. No one's Wind Ranger up against Resolution Shadow Fiend alongside the Bane and the Dazzle.
And overall, this laning setup is pretty much quite even. Like both teams trying to counteract what you're trying to do against my mid laner. So it'll be pretty much a wash. But if you compare the off lane, because Tusk is able to use the shards to actually block in some of the creeps. So overall, I think Tusk will be getting a little more experience compared to the SB.
I agree with you. I feel like that's kind of the one difference in the lanes, and more or less strong lanes everywhere. Especially as soon as Dazzle returns to his top lane.
And then the other thing to note, No Fear has not found the sentry blocking the pool camp. Like as a support hero that requires a lot of levels, that is actually a huge deal for the support.
So yeah, that's going to be reliably blocking that up. Vos trading a bit with Mag bot lane. Did have to expend that salve.
Funnick top lane gets a bash onto Solo and charge on him. So being really aggressive on the laning phase.
Yeah, feels like he can at this point. Mid lane, still just trading going on.
He's going to have his poor man shield on Funnick. Like once he gets to that stage, he's going to be really strong in the lane versus his 2 heroes.
Yeah, a lot of base armor and HP on the Spirit Breaker. LSA is going to catch him, but Funnick feeling pretty good about himself at this point. Has that Mango, a couple of tangos left as well. Mid lane has yet to dissipate. Definitely both of these safe lanes have some serious kill potential once the Bane and the Dazzle return, but for now, Mag getting level 3 already on his Tusk, as you mentioned.
This is the benefit of the Tusk off lane, being able to make sure that he gets more experience with the shards, trapping the creeps in just like a clockwork. So we'll see whether the Tusk actually gets a lot of work done, because usually Tusk will rotate when he has level 3, level 4, and you try to get kills on the other lane. Even sometimes you sit in the lane till level 6, depending on how well you can actually get experience from the lane itself. But there's a lot of options open for Mag right now in this game, since he got so much experience.
Yeah, Tusk doing a lot of work for Empire in game 1, and Vega opting to give up the Radiant Shadow Fiend for it. Mid lane though, they're going to catch the Nightmare. There's a raise combo definitely possible here. Early one is there. And no one actually just going to stand and man up in order to avoid those other raises, and he will be able to bring down Resolution.
One more kill.
Is there. Freaky has the Brain Sap, but the Grave will be there in time. And they'll get Aloha Dance as well. Great start off in this mid lane for no one.
Didn't have enough mana for another Brain Sap there, so really, really unfortunate there for Empire. But well played by Vega. Very good rotations from the support, the captain, Zazzle, Sima, securing themselves the first blood and then a truck kill on the Bane Elemental there.
Yeah, they've got this deep vision as well in the mid lane up on the cliff in order to notify them of any rotations coming in. So feeling very safe. And elsewhere, Funnick has been driven back to base, still level 2 on this Spirit Breaker. And Mag's going to have a nice wave coming underneath, or close to his tower.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get a lot of experience. That's also another wave of creeps coming into him. So he's going to be pretty happy about that. For like maybe getting him to level 4.5, close to 5.
Bot lane Havos farming very well though, 20 CS, and it's pretty much at equilibrium with Pasha's PL. So both safe laners going to find a lot here. Which one of these do you feel like gets active earlier, the Tiny or the Phantom?
Both can be very active early. I think the Tiny with the dagger obviously is much more potent in getting kills. But the other thing to note is like the Tusk is going to be much more effective for Vega, because he's been able to secure himself much more farm and much more levels, and so it'll be really tough for the SV to match that, I feel, in this game. So I think that would be the biggest, like you mentioned the carries, but I think the offlaners would be the biggest difference maker this game for both teams. Oh, Funnick, is he going to get scouted out?
Could be in a bit of trouble here. He will walk out in a very inopportune time. They do not have the Poison Touch, and they won't catch the LSA, so he will be able to charge out. And it's on to the mid laner. They've seen the Dazzle top lane, but yeah, Funnick going to cancel it for now, as they can't get in range for a knife.
Yep, so overall the laning phase will be really passive once more. Everyone is just trying to get levels, and I think the Tusk will be the hero that's going to be making a huge difference soon. He's level 5, and you know it's very easy for him to get kills onto the Shadow Fiend.
Resolution, speaking of which, mid lane in trouble. The Nightmare will keep no one from going for the power shot. He still will attempt it.
Tried to get the power shot to finish off the Shadow Fiend there.
Yeah, able to dodge it out. And Aloha Dance going to be backed off a bit. They'll put a little bit of chip damage into this tower. Meanwhile, Funnick continuing to be zoned out top lane, and Dire even worse. Going to be pulling towards this large kit, denying him up some more experience. How's the stack situation going? Only the double stack right now prepared in that Radiant jungle for Resolution, as the Bane for Aloha Dance has had to be pretty much present entirely for this first 5 minutes in mid lane.
Yeah, I actually expected him to maybe even get more from this lane. I didn't expect him to get zoned out so badly. So Vega controlling the safe lane very, very well, with Felina getting the pulls and denying so much experience. So right now, Mag is level 5, so he's gonna try and maybe make a move soon onto the SF, or even place a deep ward. He has a ward here, so he's running into the enemy jungle. Let's see where he places this ward. Maybe even able to get this solo kill onto No Fear. No Fear doesn't have boots.
He's able to shard him in, but feeling unsafe as he doesn't see anyone in lane by the creep. So expecting the rotation over from Havost, and we'll back out. It's going to be able to secure that regeneration brew. And yeah, probably now will return, and as you mentioned, provide himself with some deep vision, so he knows when he can attempt those solo kills and when they can dive. This Havost Tiny.
Yeah, and Dazzle is trying to steal experience. They know Resolution is clearing stacks right now, and there is no means, you know, for them to contest, but they're trying to get the best what they can. So they're trying to at least steal some experience.
There was a right click.
He's trying to get the last hit on.
Will not be able to secure that troll.
But he's still got so much experience on there.
And almost going to be able to eclipse that level 5 mark on this Dazzle. You take a look at the levels across the board, and seems to be favoring Vega pretty well, especially in terms of that offlane position.
Oh, Funnick, is he going to get stunned?
He will get the charge off. He'll be able to DK out here. Should survive this one.
Oh, that was really, really well played by Funnick. any wrong move that he would have just died.
Mid lane. Starting to recover in his farm. Resolution is sitting on 48 CS.
He still has like another big stack on towards the right there, so he's gonna be fine. Like even though dying once, like this is the strength of the Radiant Shadow Fiend. I mean, yes, you can die, but you're always able to just catch up in the jungle farm. Oh, Shackle. No one gets a Shackle onto Resolution.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Poison Touch off as well, but Aloha Dance will be able to TP in and accompany his mid laner to ensure that the SF will survive for now. How do you feel about the bottle on Havos Tiny?
You need a mana item, so I think it's quite common that we see bottles on Tiny, even if you are safe laning. So I think it's good in his position. Even though I mentioned that the dagger is important, but you have to get like all those basic items so that you don't just run around with the dagger and you blink in, you get one combo off and you don't do much. Mid lane, we see Havos teleporting in as well. Seema, is he going to be the casualty?
He's comboed up and tossed back. They have a Brain Sap in just a moment. Actually, no mana for it. They will get the Shackle off, but Havos finds the kill. The power shot, though, is the return kill for No One. Havos in a little bit of trouble, but there's no mana onto No One. So he will be able to back out, and Havos obviously well aware of that.
Mag, he has his Boros Punch, so he's going to be able to get the kill onto Nofia, but is he going to be able to get out alive? That is the main question.
They have the close range raise as well, and yeah, toss up. They'll be able to bring him down. So overall, Ancient Apparition, Bane go down, and the Tusk.
And Havos gets himself 2 kills, so Dagger is going to be speed up by quite a bit here after going for the bottle and the trits on the Tiny.
Yeah, definitely a nice couple of engagements going Empire's way there. Funnick has been completely zoned out of his lane at this point, and did look to make that rotation bottom lane, but will base for now. Perhaps charge out to the top lane where Aloha Dance is trying to find some experience, and he's found quite a bit up to this point. Gonna have that Fiend's Grip shortly here.
Yeah, but yet again, like you mentioned, the most worrying part is the SV falling so far behind compared to the Tusk. And we'll see whether the Tusk is able to set up even more kills for his team. Like the AA is a really easy kill for him if he can actually scout and find No Fear alone.
Yeah, Havos with 1,400 gold at this point. Smoke purchased up by the Dazzle top lane. Funnick gonna try and contest this stack a little bit. And not the best hero to do so in that Spirit Breaker, but Freaky gonna catch a Lance. Pasha's low on mana, doesn't even have enough. He has a Mango though for this Doppelganger, so Funnick will feel okay to posture up in lane.
And here we go, the rotation coming in from Vega. They smoked up No One plus Seema together, trying to go towards the offlaner's lane to actually get a kill and pressure the enemy safe lane even more. With Tusk getting so much levels, it's just such an easy kill if they catch Havos out of position.
They're going to drop down a ward in the large camp as well for Seema's Dazzle.
Yep.
Try and disrupt some of the stacks, and he actually does so in a very timely fashion. Shackle is going to catch Havos here. Shards are going to come out. They're going to have the snowball, the Walrus Punch as well. He tosses him up beforehand, but the Walrus Punch will be there. The return kill is found by Freaky with that Brain Sap. And has the Fiend's Grip available now. No One needs to be a little bit careful. Does have his Dazzle behind him. Shackle's going to land, though. And that's a dead Aloha Dance Bane. And 2 for 1 in the bot lane. No One going to pick up both of those kills on his Wind Ranger. Or one, at least.
Yep, that was a really crucial move there by Vega. You know, slowing down the Tiny's Blink. That is like the main tempo item that Empire is going to need, which is the Blink on Hover. So with that slowdown, it's going to put Empire in a much more defensive posture for the next few minutes to wait for the Blink.
Mid lane. Charge are not going to catch Resolution, so No One not going to open up there. Meanwhile, top tier 1 is being pressured in by Pasha and Solo, and there's nothing Funnick can do by his lonesome about it at this. They have no glyph available. It's going to be dropped. They're going to now queue it up. The charge onto Solo. The LSA will be there, but it's too early to bring down or to stun up Resolution. And 2 more right clicks. They'll get the kill. The Laguna Blade finished off the Spirit Breaker in the meantime, but Pasha's able to rotate out to safety, and they lose their tier 1.
That was worth it, so worth it for Vega. 1 for 1, they got the tower, they forced rotations. And Resolution is actually going for a Shadow Blade this game, so different direction rather than the mech that we usually commonly see on a Shadow Fiend on Radiant. He wants to use this to be able to catch out the PL and slow down his farm.
I guess it's not too bad if they're going for a Havos Blink Dagger, a little bit more pick-off oriented at least early on. Top lane though, they're going to find the grip, avalanche toss combo. They'll get Pasha. There's no Laguna Blade here for Solo. And the Shackle not going to land onto Freaky. Funnick's coming through as well. He does not have the Nether Strike just yet, but they will be able to bring down the leader. The toss forward onto No One. And he does get the nether strike as the Lina drops. They'll get the avalanche off. No one is down as well in this top lane. 3 kills going the way of Empire. And Funnick finally able to get active.
Yeah, and that would secure Hovos his dagger as well. This is really, really huge for them. Very good rotations once more from Empire. Getting ahead this time round. Getting the important dagger. Getting 3 kills as well. And that was also level 6 on No Fear. He got his Ice Blast that secured the kill too.
Yeah, so he's able to throw that out. Mag's going to be scouted out bottom lane. He's going to catch 1 raise. We'll be able to shard off Resolution.
Oh, they have the Shadow Blade on Resolution now. So let's see whether they can use the first Shadow Blade.
It is scouted out.
Is it?
Yeah, Dire Ward.
No, but they don't see the completed Shadow Blade.
They don't see it coming in. So yeah, he has yet to deliver it. Mid lane though, they are going to find a kill. Onto Pasha. Looks like just the Avatos combo coming out.
Yeah,
the Bane setup.
They just noticed the blink from Hovos. This is getting tough. PL died twice in a row, like slowing down his farm immensely. And he's going for the Diffusal Blade as well, like the early Diffusal Blade. He's not focusing on farming, which we usually see the Boots of Travel into more, farming orientated type of play. So this is worrisome for Vega.
Freaky is going to get caught out here, it seems. No one will be able to land the Shackle. He gets the Nightmare off, though. They toggle it, however, and the Laguna Blade will secure them a kill. Ice Blast is going to come through. It's going to connect onto Seema and Solo.
Here comes the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, rotation in. Avalanche onto 2. Toss up. 1 is down. Seema going to have to be forced for the self-defensive grave, and he should fall as well. Nicely placed Shackle, though, from No One. Beautiful from the Wind Ranger. Shards are going to keep Resolution at bay for now, but the blink is up from Hovos. Jump forward toss is going to bring down the Dazzle, and now No One in trouble. He still holds on to the Avalanche. 1 more raise, that'll finish off the Wind Ranger as well. Pasha in a little bit of trouble, has the Doppelganger available. Funnick going to come through, he's not able to dodge it. The raise is there, the Nether Strike, and they'll finish him off. Shards come through, Mag with the Walrus Punch will find a return kill onto Hovos, and now Solo coming back, but he has no Laguna Blade available. 3 heroes down from Vega. They need to be careful not to chase too far forward. Lovely play from Hovos there, holding on to the Avalanche as he brings down Seema, and he's able to use it to net a kill on No One.
Yeah, Hovos has been using his spells and initiations so well so far after picking up the blink, doing so much work for his team. Even though he has to die, but that's such a good play. They got so much off from that kill.
Yeah, Resolution, 2 elements of his Sange already after picking up that Shadow Blade freshly. Funnick top lane, he's going to run through Solo here perhaps. Does connect on him, will stop the charge, needs a bash, gonna pop the Empowering Haste, tries to dodge the LSA, nicely placed by Solo. Laguna Blade will be there as well, but now Resolution coming through, 1 big right click, brings down the Lina, and the Doppelganger through the Nightmare is on the wrong target, or toggled off at least. Resolution gonna have the Nightmare onto himself, and the Shackle will come through. They'll probably just sack the Bane here. No One trying to find Resolution as well. Won't be able to do so.
Oh, that was a really big mistake though by Resolution. It cost his team his life. He actually thought the illusion that that was Slap was actually the real hero. Pasha actually toggled the sleep on the right hero to the illusion, and I think Resolution just did not notice that. And he went for the illusion, he got slapped, and he forces his team to actually try. Like the support had to give up his life to actually save him.
Radiant Vision does scout out Pasha here. And they have Hovos nearby with Resolution perhaps baiting in lane.
Oh, the charge is coming in.
There's the shards to come out. Resolution's going to run back with his Shadow Blade. Jump forward. Hovos avalanche onto 3. The toss is there too. Defensive Snowball keeps a little bit of them safe, but the Ice Blast still connects. Requiem coming through. Pasha, will he be able to shatter here? No, he'll make it out.
Oh my god.
But they get 2 kills.
It's just making so many plays for his team. Again, such a good initiation from Hovos with the blink. Avalanche tossed into 3 heroes there.
On lane, Solo's in trouble as well. Funnick, Nether Strike dodges the LSA. No, he does connect with the LSA. And that'll force him to back out as No One does TP in, but they're not going to find the Spirit Breaker once again. Forced out a rotation from No One. And after a really good start from this Wind Ranger, 2-0-3, he's 3-2-5, and only 2 elements of the Aghanims. It's still 1,000 gold away from that.
Yeah, this Tiny just like break apart the momentum from Vega. Like ever since the first rotation at top he made, without the dagger, he gets like 3 kills, gets the dagger, and continues to make so much room and space for the rest of the team. Like, look at how farm Resolution is because of Hovos making so much space. He's like almost complete his SMY with the Shadow Blade. This guy's just huge right now.
Pasha could be in trouble here. Grip, not going to be there just yet. And nicely played by Pasha, just able to notice that. The Ice Blast coming through though, it's going to connect onto 2. And the Laguna Blade comes out. He's still got a Brain Sap and a Grip if he wants to turn, but feeling only having the 2 heroes present, Empire going to play it safe.
Yeah, we mentioned a lot about how much the Tusk would influence the game, but unfortunately Hovos has just overtaken the whole game for his team, putting his team in such a commanding lead right now. And we see a charge onto Mag.
Bot lane.
He doesn't have the Nether Strike, so just a harassment charge there. Not going to be able to get the kill onto Mag.
Resolution with the Shadow Blade active. They run into no one mid lane, but double damage rune on this Wind Ranger. The easiest target to be opening up.
He just wants to finish his SMY, like, go back to base for mana, and try to go for a pick off after. He has his ultimate now, so we'll be looking to get a high priority kill with the Shadow Blade Raccoon in the next few minutes.
Yeah, game looking really good for Empire at this point. All that they have lost in the laning stage is more or less been equalized, and Funnick looking good at this point, in addition to...
it's more than equalized. They have such a huge lead right now.
And he'll have the mechanism fairly soon for his side. Still no Diffusal Blade. In fact, he's gone for the Yasha for Pasha's side. So very under farm for the PL, considering that he had more or less free farm in that top lane. And so Vos will TP into this bottom lane now. Perhaps assemble for a push underneath Resolution.
Yeah, they're just going to be free to take whatever tower they want, like whatever they want. And Vega just has no power to actually defend the towers. They have to go for trades, split push, get more farm. They are in no position to take a head-on engagement right now against Empire.
So this should be pretty much uncontested, this bottom lane tower. They'll try and nuke down the wave, but will be unsuccessful in doing so. Resolution going to clean up.
They do have pretty good wave clear though. Wind Ranger, Dragon Slave, Eye Shots. So they have the lineup to actually buy a lot of space and time for the PL. But we'll see, will it actually be enough for Pasha to come online?
Havost, 600 gold, roughly, away from his
even if Pasha comes online, Havost is going to already have his Aghanim.
Yeah, and probably soon after, something like an AC or a Moon Shard, so it's definitely looking grim.
Yep, and SB is also going for an early Vlad to make the Tiny even stronger in team fight, so this is looking really, really good for Empire right now. Even though they do not have a mech on Shadowfiend, but because he went for the Shadow Blade, securing him some key kills, Empire in a really, really good position here.
5-man smoke. Gonna do a little D-warning on the cliff move, as well. And
oh no, is he gonna be able to break the smoke and get out?
Aloha Dance, yeah, he's a little bit far to the east. And they're gonna throw an Ice Blast through, and it'll connect onto 3 heroes.
They'll probably still try for it though, since
they're smoked.
Yeah, they're gonna go for it. But the focus fire should be able to actually get it off. So really, really good play once again, and decision making from Vega.
Solo kind of baiting bot lane, but Avos is gonna TP in, and this is definitely worth it for Vega if they just lose a Lena for the one
They just saw Funnick driving by. Take it for the team, you know?
Yep, definitely worth it for Vega's side. But now they're down numbers by the pit here.
They might lose this engagement regardless.
Requiem Wave's gonna come out. It's gonna connect only onto no one. And Mag is gonna get the snowball through, but the Ice Blast coming through will connect on the Seema, and Pasha will be able to dodge it with the Doppelganger. They'll get the Dazzle down. No one's gonna fall as well, gripped up. And it looks like PL, with the Aegis, will be able to make it out. They lose 2 heroes and the Lina earlier on. But yeah, definitely a play it feels like Vega needed to make at that point.
Solo even bought back for that fight. Oh dear, that was actually worse than I expected.
It didn't feel like he could get there with the tier 1 being down. So a little bit of a peculiar buyback coming out from the Lina there. But
he was just like really worried that his team might just lose the fight there and game would have been instantly over against the Tiny with Aghanims.
Despite the Aegis being in the hands of Vega, Wind Ranger on the sidelines, and tier 2 going to be eliminated from that mid lane. Only 1 outer tier tower standing for Vega, and only 1 tower taken down.
This Aegis on Pasha is like almost meaningless.
Yeah.
They are not going to be able to use it to take a fight. It's just like stalling. Because if you think about it, if actually this Aegis is on Empire can use it to end the game. So it was really important still that Vega actually made this move. It literally buys them enough time till the next Roshan spawns. Unless something major happens and Empire decide, okay, we're actually really, really strong now. This is a good time. We just finished the game.
2,800 gold onto Resolution. So we'll be able to pick up the makings of his next item fairly soon. Don't feel like BKB is amazing here in this one.
It's okay. It's still really good versus all the disables.
Yeah, and
at
Lina.
some point the diffuser that's going to come out from PL. So I think it's still a really solid and safe item to use to siege the base.
And he does so much damage already being this far ahead. That certainly don't want to tank a Laguna Blade.
But the other item that I would like to see is probably I think Pipe would be pretty useful against that lineup, but they don't really have a good hero to actually get the item. Like SB is not really a good carrier for it, but we'll see a charge from Funnick onto Sayoma here.
He'll just cancel that for now. And just ensure that there's no one around him to take this tier 2.
This is going to give Resolution his BKB if he wants to. So every hero on Empire is just getting all their important items up right now. It's just the decision you have to make right now. Do we wait for the next Roshan, or we try and do something as soon as the Aegis on Pasha expires?
They have the Glimmer Cape for initiation here for Aloha Dance at level 2 grip as well. So if someone shows themselves bot lane, it's certainly possible for them to re-engage here. Midas is up, as well as 2 components of the Aghanims on No Fear. So yeah, everyone, as you mentioned, slowly getting towards that critical mass. Top lane Solo once again going to show himself in lane. And he'll be able to TP up.
I think they basically have what they need, like all the important items. At this point, you just want, for safety reasons, you just want to wait for the next Aegis. But still, I feel they're super strong right now with the BKB on Resolution. They're really, really powerful. Even with the Vlads on Funnick as well, it was such an excellent pickup for their team to be able to finish the game right now.
Yeah, they're going to fly out the BKB and just keep the wave shoved in until that's delivered here. Mag off split pushing in the off lane, but still a tower there, and he's not the biggest split push.
They actually need Mag
presence.
back to defend the base probably, like to spam the wave out.
So
this is tough. This is looking really tough. Like even with the Aegis doesn't mean a whole lot for Vega right now.
We'll get right back underway after this pause.
How many buybacks do they have? Like, Windrunner has buyback.
So only the Tusk and the Wind Ranger at this point.
Oh, top lane Max just gonna get run down. Oh dear. Things are getting from bad to worse for Vega.
40 seconds on the sideline and about a minute on the Aegis as well for Pasha. As you mentioned before, more or less negligible, but Havos gonna hang around the pit, look for someone farming the Aegis. Not gonna find it just yet. And Dire Vision will scout him out briefly, exiting the pit, but they won't be able to make a move on it. Does have that Aghanims up, has had it for a little while now. With the BKB up on Resolution, look for them to assemble towards this mid lane.
I mean, they can wait for the Aegis to expire and build on the AC, but I still feel they are strong enough to actually just siege or take a fight at the base right now. They are very, very powerful with the BKB. Like, I don't think there's any way Vega can kill the SF right now.
They're walking under Radiant Vision. And Havos has the blink available. The Glimmer Cape comes through as well. Pasha's going to be able to doppelganger in time. But the Avalanche is there. They are going to find the real PL. They'll Nightmare him up. They'll bring down the Dazzle. They'll grip the PL. Funnick's going to come through. He'll charge the back lines. They'll eliminate the Aegis. The Ice Blast is going to connect on the 2. No one trying to turn into Funnick. Will toss up the Spirit Breaker, and they will bring him down. The Requiem comes out from the low ground. The Shackle is there onto Havos. But yeah, Vega understand the situation that they face. They'll call GG. Empire, after a very close to game 1, will take a convincing game 2.
MVP of this game, no doubt, Havos. He's made such good rotations with his team, good initiations after getting the blink, and I mean, not to take anything away from SB. SB had a really bad laning phase, but he was still did a lot after that, and I think his item selections was also really good with the Vlads, which helped them finish the game. So I think overall Empire played really well as a team, as a unit this game, but Havos has to be the standout performer.
Yeah, Havos with some excellent initiations, namely that one top lane, the second one after the Blink Dagger, 3-hero Avalanche, Ice Blast to follow, the defensive Snowball for once. We didn't see it saving the fight completely. And very nice from Empire to trust in Funnick to recover and give their presence toward mid lane, make sure Resolution gets big, and as well help out Havos in that safety.
I think mostly just Vega got caught by the Tiny a lot in a really bad position. The start of the game was so good for them. They were getting so much for the Tusk. Even Wind Ranger, they got a kill onto SF early. So all the lanes, and PL was free farming, so they just had to make sure that they wait for the Tusk to make the rotations and try to get pickups, and play the game from there. But they just got caught in really bad. I mean, sometimes it's not even their fault. It's just Hovos was able to get into a better position to initiate for his team.
Yeah, really nice 5th pick coming out there. And we're going to go to an interview now with more than likely one of the winning players from Empire. Very well played game 1 from them.
Поздравляем, Роман. Роман, тебя с победой. Я вижу, что вы немножко отошли от вашей стратегии, когда вы выбиваете сначала флешера, а потом все остальные претенденты.
Саня просто попросил на один раз сделать исключение и вроде послушали.
Как вообще матч с Вегой? У вас каждый раз такие достаточно напряженные получаются матчи. Вот расскажи об этом в словах.
Да, с ними очень весело играть. Ну, мы, в общем-то, любители импровизировать, поэтому залетают новые герои, может, они не готовы где-то к ним, поэтому все получается.
Хорошо, спасибо тебе. У вас сейчас будет очередной матч с Fork Lovers и L, которые достаточно идут уверенно. Вот что можешь о них сказать?
Хорошая команда, они очень сильно начали играть на этом турнире, и, не знаю, получится, наверное, такие же хорошие матчи.
Хорошо, спасибо тебе. Удачи в следующем матче.
Спасибо.
Всем пока.
And
Unfortunately, they're all
Are you
going for
pointing
Team
to
Empire
him
now.
right after you say Russian
mean,
girls?
Look, all those Russian girls are going for Team Empire right now,
yeah.
so we got no chance.
All the Meatbo girls.
all the hot Asian looks, not popular here in Russia. But what is popular is Empire playing extremely well after that game 2. Of course, here I'm joined by Excalibur, not really Excalibur, Mike Loris, and BTS Gods. Well, one thing I did lead into the draft was saying Tiny needs to have a bigger net worth than PL. It didn't really turn out to be that kind of game, as Tiny just got blink and the game was essentially over.
Yeah, there was like a 2 to 3 minute stretch where Empire just got out of control. It was when the Tiny rotated really early, the kill mid and all that, but it was when he went top. They gripped and killed the PL, followed up with a Wind Ranger TPing and dying as well, and that was like, to me, almost game over right there. To make it even worse, PL, as soon as he respawned, ran mid to farm, died to the next Fiend's Grip. As soon as Fiend's Grip came back up again, that was a disaster. I don't know. Vega did not play their game.
You get a 12-minute Blink Dagger, and usually your game is going to be pretty good. And I mean, he even made a lot of rotations beforehand, so it was going to be really good. But the way he actually used this, so many Avalanche tosses, not to insta-kill one person, but he managed to catch 2, 3 people several times. And when you're able to get that much value out of such a high burst damage combo, it's really, really hard to lose that fight. So you get a little bit of momentum from a Tiny like that, who also scales decently well into the late game. We didn't really, again, see that because the game was over so quickly, but man, the Tiny just got so much value out of his spells that pretty much no matter what Vega could have done there, I mean, someone was going to die every single time.
Yeah, I think the big difference is the cores. Tiny gets early, Blink gets multiple kills. But if you look at the Wind Ranger, got solo kill against Shadow Fiend, I think even killed another support early into the game. But Wind Ranger is one of those heroes that cannot have that high of an early game impact compared to the Tiny, even though he was on track to have a similar game like Pycat earlier today. So it's like you said, I don't think Empire actually, Team Vega actually played the game, could have played the game, because PL comes online too late, Windrunner comes online too late, and Solo, who is supposed to be the third core, also came online way too late, or didn't come on at all. So.
When they pick the support Lina, it's to get a lot of farm on the hero, so if the Lina is struggling to find anything, then you're in a lot of trouble, which is kind of what ended up happening, where Lina was just like a 5 position as well. So we'll see some of the replays here. This is the only good moment for Vega in the entire game, I believe, was when they got those 2 kills in the mid lane. From there, everything just started going wrong.
Yeah, it was like they got 4 kills or something, and then the kills just like stopped flowing in. Havo's just being an absolute menace with this Tiny. Like, this was one of the more non-impressive moments of Havo's Tiny. Like, it was right before that clip that he got the 2-man Avatos, I think, that started things off. That started this off. He got a 3-man later down the line. So, I mean, that's the problem whenever you pick Wind Ranger. Like, she is pretty good in lane, and you will have games like the one we saw in Pycat earlier, where you just crush everyone. But until you get that Aghanim Scepter, you really are kind of a coin flip type hero.
You know, not really known as a Hovos hero, but I feel like Hovos fits Tiny really well, right? He loves to fight early, and in this game, that's all he did. So
his rotations were like incredibly aggressive. Like it was 7 or 8 minutes in, he TP'd mid off of a nightmare setup, comes in, gets a kill. That was like a 2-for-2 trade where they just both lost support, but then he rotated up top, went up and killed the PL. So he was moving around the map, didn't want to farm at all. He was just happy to get active. Even before he had the blink dagger, he was TPing mid. So yeah, really, really good showing from Havas.
Was the game actually over? Like when they GG'd, was that it? Could they have fought more?
Yes, GG generally means.
Oh, okay. I never played this game before. I mean, could they have actually come back from that?
What, after that fight bottom?
Yeah.
No.
The only thing right. I mean, seeing on a delay.
It's the moment that Parker touched on, where PL died twice in a row.
Yeah.
And the Wind Ranger too. I think at that point, your core just scale too late to really make an impact. So I thought the game was over at that moment. And that's when I was looking at Tinder.
Yeah, I remember coming in and well, it's funny because we've got 2 screens. So we've got the one where it's like the live feed, and the one in front of us, which is this laptop here, which is on the stream, which is 20-30 seconds delayed, which is easier to watch off. So I'm watching this. I'm watching PL about to respawn, and I look up at the other screen, I'm like, wait, PL's dead?
You hear the crowd cheer?
And I'm just like, wait, what's going on? PL's about to respawn in 10 seconds, but he's already dead 30 seconds from now. Like, and this is 10 to 12 minutes in the game. I'm like, that's a really big problem. If PL just respawned and dies 20 seconds later. And I'm watching, he didn't even TP to a lane, he just walked to a lane and was instantly dead. Like that can't happen.
All right, so Team Vega, again, kind of underperforming. Every time we think like, all right, Vega's kind of doing it. And then they're not back.
Yeah. They need some momentum, just like MVP. They just need to, these are just the warm-up games.
All right, I'm glad that you brought up MVP, because that's our matchup next. Team Vega versus MVP. Now, I do believe in our group stage match, Vega
got 2-0'd.
Yeah.
Yes, Vega got 2-0'd.
Demolished 2-0'd.
Yes. And I think one of the game, Vega actually had an early game lead. And then MVP just came back and just rolled them. So
I believe that was a Bounty Hunter game, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong.
Oh, Bounty Hunter known for those type of games.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our matchup next. And, I think we're going to rotate our talents here a bit. Give us a quick idea in terms of how the games will go. You think it's going to be another 2-0, or we're going to see a closer series here?
I want to believe that MVP can put up a good fight. Even though Vega didn't look that great in this series, I still think that they're going to be a little bit of more solid team over MVP, even after given previous results. That being said, MVP, they were just like grinding games and grinding practice back there. And of course watching the games on the side as well. But I do expect it'll be 2-1 Vega, I want to say.
2-1 Vega. What about
you don't believe MVP champs, man? You're preaching them.
I could preach to you guys. I can preach to you guys. I can't preach to everyone else like that.
MVP 2-0.
MVP 2-0 again.
MVP 3-0. Shit, I mean, just
there you go.
Winning so many games.
No, MVP looked pretty rubbish earlier today, so I think Vega's going to take it. Through Vega's game 1, they looked really solid. Maybe just slight execution issues, but MVP looked much worse today than they did in the group stage. If MVP shows up like they did in the group stage,
the thing is, I feel like MVP matches up well against Vega.
Why
the
do you
way
think
that Vega
is?
drafts, they draft much more mid to late game oriented, whereas MVP draft very early game. Like, in fact, they try to win every single lane. They do the Spirit Breaker bounty stuff, which if you fall behind just a bit, you're going to get rolled.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like they're going to learn their lessons. The first game they got lost in at 2-0 was the game 1 stomp, which was like a 15-minute GG, 14-minute GG.
Yeah, it was really
with
short.
The IO. They won't give MVP IO. I do not see MVP getting IO this series. Period.
I think if you took the game that we just saw, Game 2 Empire Vega, slapped an MVP logo on that, you maybe would have been sold. I mean, that's pretty much the same type of... No, I mean, that's the type of gameplay that we're expecting to see from MVP, where they're just always on the aggressive. Maybe without a tiny, but like that type of pace.
It could be an Ember instead. Like MP would be playing Ember, like going
TA
around
or something.
Yeah. Could see it happen.
All right. Well, I want to say that's going to do it. That's going to.
Wait, we need your prediction
for now.
We need your prediction. Yeah.
I say that MVP is going to show. I think they match up well.
Okay.
So, we have to fill time until we go to commercial break. So I think it's time to talk about our experiences in Moscow. My first time in Moscow.
We already did. We were pissed off earlier.
Oh no, that was a vote. That's pissed off. At Toro Grill.
Oh, that was
yeah.
him.
We got dropped off like in the middle of like some big square. Like we had to walk through like the slosh and snow to get here today. Like
Okay.
that was probably the most true Moscow experience I've had since being here.
Through like a completely empty carnival
It was
kind of
cool.
thing.
It was a good way
Yeah.
to wake up.
Exactly.
It definitely woke you up.
Yeah.
It was cold.
The Golden Girl wasn't good enough of a Moscow experience.
No, that puts,
That's for tonight.
Yeah.
That's for tonight.
Not to wake up to.
All right.
Save it for the last. Well, then tomorrow night then maybe perhaps. I don't know.
Got
Well,
early
the rate
flights.
that this is going, we're actually going to finish quite early today.
Yeah. 2-0-2-0. MVP
Stop predicting-
2-0
stop predicting
to
2-0s,
ending,
guys.
So we'll have.
We get home at 6 p.m.
They may be
Yeah.
playing the fourth series.
Depends on how Four
They've been
Clovers
flip-flopping
feel.
back and forth a bit. It's like we'll play it, we're not going to play it, we'll play it now. So don't know.
Yeah, and that'll
We'll see
be
what
Four
PJ and
Clovers.
the boys have to
That'll
say.
be Four Clovers Empire if they feel up to it.
I
In
would
which case,
actually
that would
hope
be
that
sick.
they would play it today,
Me too.
because if they don't, tomorrow there's a team that could possibly play all the games.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 BO3s and BO5.
that's rough.
That's
You know,
bad.
Winner bracket final, and then the loser drops to the loser bracket final.
Yeah.
And if they win that, then they go back up to the grand finals.
No, they should hopefully get 4 games done today, because that means every team will play max 2 games today.
Mhm.
But it's just rough for like maybe, I think it was the reason they didn't want to do it is because Forcia would then have to play the first game and the last game, which is like a pretty long day. But every team was here awake had to be over
Yeah.
here at 9 o'clock. So either way,
It's not like there's nothing to do around here either. Got like shit everywhere.
there's Meepo girls. You can take pictures with them. Where'd they go?
They're gone. We have to find the Meepos. I think there's only 4 though, so no ags.
It's all right. Lumia's got a girlfriend. He doesn't need one. and
Meepos for everyone! Yay!
and Winter doesn't need one either. Winter
He's not paying attention. He's not paying attention at all.
There's some greedy. He'd be like, I'll take all 4.
There's some sick cosplay going around though. Like not all
Yeah.
Dota. There's some League cosplay, and there's some. I saw a Tiny Tina from Borderlands. She had the same graphical look.
I just
Pretty
like the
sick
guy
shit.
dressed up as an Empire horse. It didn't even look like the Empire horse, but I could tell it's a horse costume, and he was next to like 2 other guys with Empire flags, so I was like, oh, okay, it's the Empire horse. But when he was walking, like, sat down by himself, I'm just like, why are you dressed up as like this crappy horse costume?
He's actually lost.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be here. He's
I don't know.
just wandered in.
But yeah, I slowly pieced it together, but
Well, I know the Russian analyst has already sent it to commercial. I have nobody telling me in my ear to sell it to commercial.
maybe
at
it's
all.
out of batteries. Did they tell you that we were coming back
Did you
in?
turn it off?
No, it's on. I'm gonna
Alright.
try this. Guys, game 3 is coming up between MVP and Team Vega Squadron. But after commercials, and we're gonna send it to them now.